Welcome back to Becoming the Hero, the podcast for personal development for nerds, geeks, and the like. I'm your host, Justin Lewis, and I want to say thank you for joining me on this particular journey. Quick update. So we do have Wi-Fi at the house now, so I didn't have to drive to my remote job. That said, I am still going to record some of these for a bit and sort of do it as an experiment. I want to see what happens, see what doing sort of a daily podcast does. Now, I don't make any promises. I don't know that I'll be able to keep this up, but I want to see what happens. It's an experiment. Also, you guys are awesome for listening to some random guy's podcast, allowing him to talk about personal development, which I really like to do. So, big thanks. Today's going to be a quick episode, but I wanted to talk about influence, more specifically attention. If you learn nothing else from me, it's this: the first form of currency that you would ever receive is attention. Before people pay anything else, they have to pay attention, unless you're pickpocketing someone, in which case, great sleight of hand check, right? And this sort of goes into, your charisma score, but I think it's deeper than that. And if you need an example, just look at any sort of business that you are happy about or proud about or love to frequent, even your grocery store. In order to go there, first of all, you have to know that it's there. Second of all, that you have to know that they have things that you would want and use. Third of all, you have to have the ability to go there. It has to be within reach, right? All of that is what happens when you grab someone's attention. You make them pay attention. As you're driving home from work today, think about all the businesses that catch your eye. Think about what does catch your eye and what does, grab your attention. Even on social media, think about what stops you in your death scroll. What makes you stop and pay attention? And I have a couple theories on this, and actually today's episode was going to be a little bit more about theories and really kind of working this out in my mind. But as I already said, they have to, in order to grab someone's attention, you have to be in a place where they could notice you, right? And if nothing else, that is just a lesson on putting your name in the hat, right? Or throwing your hat in the ring. I don't know any other idioms to use. I mean, if we think about this from a D&D perspective, you're never going to be able to beat the big bad boss if you never go on the quest, right? So you have to start, you have to try. And that means you also need to make sure you're in the place where whoever's attention you want, where they are, right? If you, for example, for us, Dungeons and Dragons, if you want Dungeon Masters' attentions, you'd likely need to be in game stores, on podcasts that they listen to. You'd likely need to be able to be on social media because they use Instagram, they use TikTok. They are very active in terms of consuming content. You would need to understand where they frequent and be there. And that in and of itself is probably a really great tip for any business owner. But not just that, think about it in the context of your life. Let's say you are a single guy and you want a girlfriend, right? Well, first, before you get a girlfriend, you have to go on a date. And before you get a date, you have to initiate contact with that person. And frankly, in order to initiate contact, you have to get their attention. You have to have them focus on you. One of the best ways to start doing that is to be in places where they could focus their attention on you. Now, this is a very interesting concept as well, because I've introduced the term focus into the equation, which is it amplifies that phrase, really. And it's funny because in my own personal life, I feel like having people focus attention on me is difficult, right? Getting people to focus attention on me is somewhat difficult. And actually, I think I'm talking to my therapist about this next time, but and you're probably wondering, but Justin, you're doing a podcast. And yes, I am. But guess what? If you look at where I am right now, while recording this, you'd see that I'm literally in a room all by myself. I think we're going to have to continue this conversation of attention in tomorrow's episode. It's a very interesting one, and I think I want to talk about it a little bit more. But tomorrow I'm going to talk about, first of all, having people focus attention on you, and that being okay and even a desirable thing. But remember, if you want to start getting people's attention, you need to be in places where you can get attention from people that you care about. Thanks for listening to today's episode. Hopefully, I've gotten your attention. And hopefully I can keep it with tomorrow's episode. But until then, may all your rolls be crits.